नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासां ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिरभवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। आराध्य भगवान् व्रजेशतनयस्तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचित् उपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमापुमान्तो महा श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादारनवरः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we'll start from the prayers that has been offered by Dhruva Maharaj to their Lordship Dhruva Hari. So in the Canto 4th, chapter 9, we are discussing verse number 8 today. Tvaddаттaya vayunayedam chashtavishvam supta prabuddha ivanata bhavat prapanna tasyapavargya sharanam tava padamulam vismaryate krit vida kathamartha bandhu. O my master, Lord Brahma is fully surrendered unto you. In the beginning, you gave him knowledge, and thus he could see and understand the entire universe. Just as a person awakens from sleep and visualizes his immediate duties, you are the only shelter of all persons who desire liberation. And you are the friends of all who are distressed. How, therefore, can a learned person who has a perfect knowledge ever forget you? Purport by His Loving Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of a Godhead cannot be forgotten even for a moment by his surrendered devotees. The devotee understands that the Lord's causeless mercy is beyond his estimation. He cannot know how much he is benefited by the grace of the Lord. The more a devotee engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord, the more encouragement is supplied by the energy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that to those who are constantly engaged in devotional service with love and affection, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead gives intelligence from within, and thus they may make further progress. Being so encouraged, the devotee can never forget at any moment the personality of the Godhead. He always feels obliged to him for having achieved increased power in devotional service by his grace. Saintly persons like Sanak, Sanatan, and Lord Brahma were able to see the entire universe by the mercy of the Lord, through knowledge of the Lord. The example is given that a person may apparently abstain from sleep all day But as long as he is not spiritually enlightened, he is actually sleeping. He may sleep at night and perform his duties in the daytime, but as long as he does not come to the platform of working in a spiritual enlightenment, he is considered to be always sleeping. A devotee therefore never forgets the benefit derived from the Lord. The Lord is addressed here as Artha Bandhu, which means friend of the distressed. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, after many, many births of executing severe austerities in search of knowledge, once come, one comes to the point of real knowledge and becomes wise when one surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Mayavadi philosopher who does not surrender unto the Supreme Person is understood to be lacking in real knowledge. The devotee in perfect knowledge cannot forget his obligations to the Lord at any moment. Akhalamandalakara vyaptena characham tatpadarshatam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In the previous words, Dhruva Maharaj explained that even though Lord is one, but to perform different pastimes, he descends in different forms. Hmm? And first of all, he says that Tadatma Rupa, Tadatma Ekansha Rupa, that is Paramatma. Taking the form of Paramatma, he resides in everyone's heart. And that's why the pure devotees, they can see their Lordship in each and every one. And now, here Dhruva Maharaj is explaining that Lord is Arthabandhu. And he is achieved by whom? Hmm. He is achieved by the people who are interested to attain liberation in this world. And that's why Lord is called here as Apavargya Sharan. He is the shelter of the person who are desiring for liberation. In the Vedic scripture, it is explained that Lord is Artha Bandhu. Arthanam Ashu Phaladayaka. For the distressed, Lord appears immediately. If they pray with artha, with intense dependence on the Lord, like a small child as he calls his mother. In the same way, if someone calls upon the Lord, he immediately comes and takes care of them. Arthanam Ashu Phalakara Dayakaha. Siddhanam Janmandhari. And others who are there to perfect their life, for them, like they do their Nitya Seva, Puja, etc. For them, Lord may be seen, but after giving up this body. But for the Artha, right in this life, this moment, when they call upon, Lord appears. And we have many examples for that. So the famous example is Gajen. It's not that only a Brahmana, if he is in trouble and he is calling upon Lord, then Lord appears. Lord appears even if someone in the animal body also, and if he has that intense call for the Lord, then Lord appears. We have many examples, like in Dakshin Bharat, in South India, There is a Nathamuni Ramayana. And there we get a lot of stories about Lord Ramachandra's childhood pastimes. Once what happened, Lord Ramachandra was a little bit disturbed. The Ramlala was small when he was a child. So everyone was asking him, what has happened? What has happened? Then he said, can you hear? Meow, meow. So everyone was thinking, that's some kitten maybe you're calling for. And he said, yes. Then they were started going around to find it out, where is that kitten? Where is it calling upon? So when they went to the Sumitra Devi, Sumitra Maharani's palace, they saw that one small golden colored kitten was totally entangled in the woolen threads because she was weaving some sweater for their lordship. And that cat was playing with that rope. And somehow or other, that cat got entangled in that thread all around. And as much as he was trying to get out of that, he was getting more and more entangled. And if someone is going to help him out, what he was doing? Yes, he was scratching them with its claws. So no one was trying for to save him. Then Lord Ramchandra, he went. And as soon as he hold that cat, then he told that cat, be quiet. Just give up yourself to the shelter who is there to save you. See, we are having same condition in our life. We are like that kitten only. And this gunas, this ropes, this mode of passion, ignorance, goodness, all they are these threads. They are always entangling us more and more. If we try ourselves to come out, what happens? We get more and more entangled in this modes of material nature, the ropes of this gunas. So what one has to do? Just give up yourself to the person who has. So when one surrenders to their lordship, we have to do our duty. It depends upon him because he is a swarat, he is not bound actually. But again it is says that he is shelter for the person who desires liberation, who wants to get rid of. So once you prepared yourself to get rid of this material world, then he interferes in your life. Otherwise, he never does that. And generally, without his mercy, we can't get anything here. And we have seen in the last two prayers that Dhruva Maharaji himself says that unless and until he got the mercy of their lordship, he was not able to glorify him. Again, in the last verse itself, 497, he says that, no, even this verse, right now, here, he says that even Brahma, he was like a Supta Buddha. His intelligence was sleeping. Unless and until Lord awakened him, he was not able to see on this universe. And he was not able to find it out the purpose of his own life. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that in the 7th chapter, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyante. Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudhurlava. It's very rare to find a person who knows that Vasudevam Sarvamiti. The Lord Vasudev is in everyone and is everything. What he has explained in the previous word. That Lord, as he enters in everyone's heart as a Paramatma, and only person who sees Lord and his energies are non-different, only he can realize that Lord is there in everyone's heart. And then that understanding makes him more depend on their Lordship. Because he sees Lord in each and everything. He sees Lord's mercy in each and everything, whatever happening in his life. Look at Dhruva Maharaj, a 5 years old boy, got thrashed out by his own stepmother. His own mother was totally helpless to help him out. So she said, just depend upon the Lord. He is the one who is real Pati. Pati means protector of each and everyone. So go and take his shelter. So when he was totally baffled with all material relationship, then he moved towards their Lordship. That means he was not fully desired to get rid of all material clutches, but he went to the Lord for kama, for desire, for his own sense gratification. Why? Because he wanted to achieve the highest place in the material realm, from where no one can push him down. Sthana Abhilashi. He was desiring for the highest, topmost place. And he came out. As soon as he came out of his palace and entered into the forest with a determination to perform austerity and attain their Lordship. Just by that strong determination, he got what he was desiring for. The whole city, the whole subject, all the people, the king, minister, everyone came and they were begging him, don't go to the forest. Take this. Become a king. So when he just desired to perform austerities and please their Lordship, he got everything, whatever he wanted. But did that stop him to go further and make progress in his devotional service? No. That's why he is Dhruva. He was determined. What happens with us? When we are really in trouble, we come and chant intensely in front of the Lord. You know? Oh, I'm not going through my exams properly. My professors, my guide, they are not supporting me. When we get troubled, we come to the Lord. We chant more intensely. And as soon as that goes away, our intensity also goes. Whom we are cheating? Are we cheating ourselves or are we cheating Lord? And Lord, being in everyone's heart, He knows each and everything. You can't hide anything, you know. Even the dead of the night, in the pitch darkness, a black ant makes its movement. Who sees that? No one else but Lord sees, because He is there in the heart of that ant also. So nothing is hidden from Him. On top of that, there are 32 His agents who are always, generally in America, how many cameras you are always under in surveillance? Minimum 22? That's what the ratio says. You can't do anything here secretly, you know, because someone's CC camera is capturing you. Then Lord has His own cameras, you know, everywhere. And those cameras are so intense that they can find it out what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your brain. So you can't hide anything from Him. And because we are in such a precarious condition, and when we realize that, generally we don't realize, do we? No. We think Ishwaroham Maham Bhogi Siddhoham Balvan Sukhi. Huh? I'm the perfected living being. I'm the controller, everything under my control. But we get controlled by someone else's camera. And when we know this precarious condition that from everyone is watching us what we are doing, it becomes very difficult to perform even a simple thing then. And when someone realizes that, if he prays to their Lordship, oh my Lord, I'm helpless here. And you are the one who can save me. That's why there is one nice verse actually. In Agamas, when we offer prayers to their Lordship after performing all our puja, it said that, Na dharma nishtosmi. I'm not established in the practice of dharma. Because I don't know dharma even. Dharma se tattvam viyata guhai. Because to know the dharma and follow it is really difficult. That's why I'm not established in that. Na dharma nishtosmi, na cha atma vedi. And I am not self-realized person. Na bhaktiman stat charanarvinde. Neither I have a devotion at your lotus feet. Akinchano nanya gati sharanye. When we consider ourselves as a akinchana. Akinchana means who does not have anything material or neither spiritually also. When someone claims that akinchanoyam nagati sharanya, I don't have any other shelter, my Lord. Tvatpada mule sharanam sharanya. That's why I'm taking shelter at your lotus feet. And when we say like that, then Lord immediately comes and gives you shelter. That's what needed. That's what Dhruva Maharaj did. Who was he? What was his identity? He was the son of emperor. Who was his father? Who was his father? Who was his father? So he was like a third generation of Brahma. So he must be a powerful from birth itself. But ultimately, whom he takes shelter upon? And then what about us? Who we are as compared to him? What is our position? Something in nanometers, huh? Or doesn't exist even. But he had a mood of akinchana. And that's why Maharani Kunti says, Namo akinchana vittaya nivritta guna vittaya atmaranaya shantaya kaivalyaya. She calls their lordship as akinchana vittaya. The person who gives up everything of this material world, he becomes the wealthiest person. Why? Because he gets that opulence which is not achieved by any other endeavor. And what is that opulence? Akinchana vitta, that is Lord. So somehow or other, one need to get connected with their Lordship. And the best way to get him connected is by offering prayers that has been offered by the pure devotees. Because they have realized their own position. And putting them in our shoes, they have offered these prayers. See, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, whenever he prays that, Amito Kukur, I'm like a dog. Does really it means that he is a dog? He says that I am totally low than anything in this world. Like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am I'm so low that I'm totally a gone case. I don't have my existence here. That shows his ultimate humility. See, if we read all these prayers, what we can understand from them? Whom generally lords get attracted to? The prayers are offered by the devotees. That's true. Okay. All the devotees, they were put into the troubles. So if you want to be devotee means you should be ready to get into trouble also. Because unless and until you get troubled, you will not realize that there is a someone who is always protecting you. Maharani Kunti, see her life since the beginning. Even though she was the queen of Hastinapur and Hastinapur was ruling the whole earth that time. But she was destined to leave that and go to the forest with her husband and gave birth to all kids in the forest. Their childhood was whole spent into the forest. Their father died. She became widow. She was living in simple cottages. She was she has gone through the all the troubles that even we can't imagine. But has she given up her devotional service to the Lord? No. In all those vipadas, and that's why she prays, because she has a great experience about the troubles. And what was that? Vipada Shantu Shashvata Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavatam Darshanam Syat. Oh my Lord, whenever we were in trouble, I know you were always there standing right in front of us. And that's why she was welcoming the troubles. Because that's the way that Lord was right there and they were getting the direct association of their Lordship. Bhishma Dev, we call him Mahajan. In material point of view, see what kind of a life he led. Huh? He was the warrior of that time. No one can withstand in front of him when he was in the battle. He warfare. He was so powerful. Being so powerful person, but he never became a king. For a Kshatriya, becoming so powerful and not become a king is really a great shame. He always remained an obedient servant of the king, whoever became the king of Hastinapur, whether he was qualified or not, but he was protected. He followed celibacy. Where? In Himalayas? Right in the palace of Hastinapur, where their beautiful women, they were just showering here and there. And there he maintained his celibacy. He got numerous times insulted by Duryodhana. But everything he tolerated. On top of that, ultimately he has to fight to protect these useless people because he, he, he took a vow to protect them. Just to maintain his Laukika Dharma, he fought against the Lord. On top of that, he was on the bed of arrows for how many days? Almost 48 days. And still he spoke that knowledge which was even discussed by the great sages. When each and every pore of his body got pierced with the arrows, it was oozing blood. Can you imagine what kind of, we get pricked by one syringe, and like a 4 days we, no, it pains, it pains. And his each bodily pore was pierced with the arrows. But he never lost his consciousness. On that bed of arrows, he spoke. That was even that was spoken by the great sages in their enlightenment. Why that has happened? Because he was fully Krishna conscious. And that's why Lord, he himself came when Bhishma decided to leave his body. And he stood right in front of Bhishma. It said that when the time came, actually Bhishma Dev, he asked their lordship, what should I do? I have this boon of Ichamrityu. Whenever I decide, I can die. He said it's like a committing suicide. So I don't want to do that, my lord. And I can't just lie down here on this bed of arrows like this. So you tell me, what should I do? If I leave my body according to my desire, then it will be like a sin of committing suicide. But if you tell me to leave body, then it will be a moksha, liberation for me, because I followed your instruction. So what should I do? And the Lord says, okay, give up. Leave this body. And for a wonder, Bhishma Dev, he wakes up. He stands straight. All the arrows from his body, one by one, they just fell down on the earth. He got same strong, stout body that he had. Bhishma, Bhima, and Arjuna, they were scared. What's happening? He became like seen. And then what he did, the arrows, he laid the arrowhead on the north, and he sat on the arrows. And he fully concentrated on their lordship. And he gave up his body. How that has happened? Because throughout life, he followed the instructions of the Lord. He understood the purpose of his life. And he always put himself at the feet of the Lordship. That was his glory. Who was he? What was his identity? He was born from Mother Ganga. And what is Ganga? She is the water that has been came down by washing the feet of Lord. So he was born from a tirtha, Charana tirtha of their Lordship, Charana Amrita. So what he can give you? The same shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Because he knows the glories of Sharanamrita. Hmm? And who is Apavargya Sharanam? The person who is desired in Apavarga, going back to Godhead, for them Lord is the shelter. See how deeply Dhruva Maharaj has expressed all these great philosophical points. And who is explaining that? Dhruva Maharaj, who is just like a 5 years old. In the Purport, Prabhupada says that knowledge never attained by studying, but how it comes? uh, relieved or revealed in the heart by their Lordship. And why he reveals that? Tesham Satatayuktana Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Tenamam Upayanti. Tesham Satatayuktana. They are always engaged. In what? Bhajatam Pritipurvakam. With love. They serve, but with love. And that love actually bounds their lordship to picture. And this is what all these prayers are. They are meant for that. So that we can understand the importance of rendering loving devotional service. Prabhupada, when he translates devotion, bhakti, what he translates? He translates it as a loving devotion service. Because devotion means priti purvakam. Without priti, there is no devotion. There is no service. And why we render service? Because we have love, then only. Because of that only we serve. Because service is the token of love. Because there is a love, that's why we serve. So let's ponder upon these wonderful thoughts and try to imbibe them so that the mission of our life will get fulfilled. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Thank you so much.